The ancient Roman philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not that we don't have enough time, but we waste most of it." This is so true, and that's why today I'm here with time management tips that is going to help you to master your time. First of all, you need to understand that we all have 24 hours in a day and you own yours. So whatever you do with it, it is because you wanted to do it, not the other way around. Do you go through the end of your day thinking you could have done better? Or do you go through your day thinking you didn't do what mattered most? Then it's your fault. You actually have time. It's just that those things you didn't do weren't your priority. Now that you understand you have time, I need you to do 4 things for me. No, not for me, but for yourself. The first step to manage your time is to track your time for a few days or even a week in order to know how long you spend on each task, at least the common tasks you do every day. You can do the time tracking manually by just using pen and paper, or you can use apps like Toggle and Clockify. I know you're already thinking you know how long you spend on each task, but hear me out. There's this thing called the planning fallacy, where you think you can use 30 minutes to complete a task, but in actual sense, you use 3 hours. Hasn't it happened to you before, where you think you could use an hour to clean your room, but you ended up using 2.5 hours? The next thing is to understand that you get tired. You can't be productive throughout the day, but you have that time of the day where you are very, very productive. And so I want you to find that time of the day where you are very, very productive and then protect it. You can protect it by switching off your phone or turning off the notification so nothing will distract you. And you can find your productive hours when you track your time. A quick note here, if your productive hours are in the morning, then don't start your day with unnecessary or complicated morning routines which will end up draining all your energy. The next thing I want you to understand for me is that your day starts the night before. And so if you wake up thinking of what to do, then you're wasting time. Do you realize the amount of time you waste when you're trying to figure out what food to eat or what clothes to wear? So you make a plan for the next day before you go to bed. Also, avoid the temptation of overscheduling. You think you can accomplish a lot of things in a day, but in fact, there are just a few of them you can accomplish. There will be a lot of things on your to-do list that you won't be able to accomplish. As human beings, we often overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. So reserve some of the tasks for the next day. Before you make a to-do list for the next day, one of the most important things to do is to prioritize your task. And you can do this by using the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule states that 20% of your effort is going to bring 80% of your results. So you look through the day and figure out that few tasks which when you accomplish will bring about the most impact to you. And then you accomplish them. When you are done with that, that is when you go on to perform the other tasks. In making your to-do list, you can make a daily highlight. An example is when you are studying for an exams. You have a book which contains the topics on which the exams is going to be set. So when you are able to learn those topics, you will definitely pass the exams. But then you remember your friend took a picture of a diagram that was drawn on the board. And then there's this other friend of yours who has also been writing down notes. So before you write the exams, it is your plan to read the book you have, get the diagram, and also get the notes from your friend. But with these 3 things, which of them is the most important? I would say is reading the book with the topics you have. Because if you're able to do that, even though you won't get a perfect score, but you will be able to pass the exams. So you do that first before you move on to the others. You can highlight your most important task on your to-do list. And when you are able to complete that and you don't even do anything again, you're good to go. I know you are thinking, okay, I have a lot of things to do. Why should I just do one thing? But hear me out. Imagine you are able to do the most important task in a day, every day for a year. How is your growth going to be? Tremendous. Don't be like the old me and fall into the trap of overworking yourself and sleeping late thinking you are being productive. You are just lying to yourself. You don't have to act like a robot. Personal development doesn't mean you can no longer play. It doesn't mean you should push your friends away. It doesn't mean you should be a lonely person. It doesn't mean you should be a workaholic. In fact, you can still do it and enjoy your life. In order to avoid the Parkinson's law, which states that work extends to fill the time allocated to it, then you have to add time limits to your to-do list, and this is why we had to first track our time. This leads me to the most important part of time management, which is actually doing what is on the paper, which is actually doing the work, putting in the work, which is actually sitting down to do what you are supposed to do. When you start working, please don't multitask. In fact, multitasking reduces your focus and attention. Eliminate all forms of distractions. An easy way to do that is to tidy up your place of work. Learn to say no to unimportant tasks. Since you're a human being and you get tired, you need to break when necessary. The last but one tip I'm going to give you on how to manage your time is to delegate tasks when possible. With delegation, what you do is to estimate the value of your time in terms of money, and then if you are able to find somebody who can perform that same task at a lower price, then you have to delegate. Now, the bonus tip I have for you is actually an advice. It's my 2 cents. You can make a to-do list and sleep the whole day and repeat the process the next day. In fact, you can make people believe you are so productive and work so hard, but in actual sense, you don't do anything. The truth is, you are not lying to anybody, you are lying to yourself. Nobody really cares about you. You have to take matters into your own hands and change your life. If you want to change your life, it is you who has to put in the work. So you have to make it count. The person you have to keep your promise to is you.